Hello, I'm Tato Cat. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Lake of Voices. Previously, we got back to the bridge, which was fun. It was an adventure, but we got there. And now we find out in this maze that our only path is a bunch of button boards. And so now we have to traverse that. So that's going to be fun. Let us continue and see how we do. He doesn't allow us time to answer before darting forward. His steps are light, but beneath him, the wood creaks loudly.
Why are the bridges this way? They can be burned into ash and will still rise the next nightfall. And yet this spot is less stable than the rest. It is strange.
Yeah, well, they're magical bridges with evil water creatures.
The unnatural black water has a great deal of magic within. That is the most reasonable source of the bridges. If this maze is formed without an intelligent creator, that would explain its treacherous nature.
So does that mean nobody even knows who made this bridge? Lou doesn't say anything on the topic, merely staring ahead. The guide breaks his cautious steps, testing the security of the bridge.
Where I am now is solid. You only need to reach this position.
Okay, yeah, but I can't really tell where you are now based off of this image, so for all I know, you're all the way over here.
We'll be right there.
Will we? I face the others. We only have one light, and we can't have two people on the thing, so that's going to be interesting.
To ensure that there is enough light for all of us, I will go second. We need to keep enough distance between each other to not break the boards.
Lou elects to lead and starts going forward, inching gingerly across the trembling boards. After there's some distance, I begin to follow, focused on keeping my movements steady. Margaret is the last to leave. The three of us carefully navigate the creaking, soggy wood. We attempt to keep the guide's path in hopes that the boards will hold. I feel my foot lay heavily on the board. It begins to hair-raisingly under me. It bends hair-raisingly under me. I wince as I slowly step off of it. I wonder if we should be crawling on all fours to spread our weight over a wider space, but that may make us vulnerable to those creatures. Yeah, I mean, how can you crawl while holding a lantern? My focus is broken when I hear a shout from ahead. Lou's foot has snapped through the bridge. Ah! What'd I do? What did I even choose? Move to push him back. Wait, if we do that, won't we all die? Yeah, so let's see what happens we'll try to let him live. Okay, at least one person will die, and that one person has already died, so let us try let everyone live now. Okay? Despite every cell in me screaming to help, I forced myself not to make any sudden movements. Because if we go in to help him, then the whole thing is just going to go, and then we're all going to fall into the water. By all, I mean me and Lou, because Margaret's going to be further back. But she'll probably fall, because she's her. Lou lifts his foot up from the cusp of the water and places it back on the board in front of him. Thank goodness, the entire section could have collapsed. Margaret looks at us, clearly concerned.
A part of the board broke. Everyone is fine, however. You should avoid that section completely.
All right.
We're still in much danger as we stand here. I encourage him to begin moving once more. I make sure to skip over the broken board myself when I come to it. As I pass by the hole, I catch a bit of movement in the water. But when I look closely, there's nothing. After a few more agonizing minutes, everyone reaches the other side of that trap. Each of us, three, mutter various expressions of relief. There isn't a word from our guide. We continue our journey across the bridge, sharing small, sporadic bits of conversation until we're plunged into darkness. Oh no! I immediately come to a screeching halt that almost makes the two near me lose their footing. I look down at my lantern. It's as dark as the water. The three of us stare at it silently, pleading. A few moments pass, and yet the lantern remains cold and lifeless. In desperation, I jiggle the lantern, hoping that somehow something will click and the light will return. Nothing happens. I feel the others' nerves climbing with every second. They shift uncomfortably as they watch me pathetically attempt to relight it. We are quiet, still hoping that the guide won't notice. I cease shaking and tap the sides to the cracked glass. When that doesn't yield any results, I open the lantern itself and look over the internal workings. I cannot reach inside. Despite its appearance, the material has retained the heat from before, and I would be burned. As the darkness stretches on, I frantically try to figure out what the problem is from sight alone, to no avail.
Your light is gone.
Did she really think that the guide would notice us just not moving anymore and there not being a lantern? The indifferent tone of the speaker is unmistakable. No, not yet. I look up from my work to see that the guide is approaching us. I'm at a loss for words. He comes near. The edges of his light shelter us like a blanket.
Relight it.
We are trying that, good sir. My hand begins to tremble. I know that it won't do anything, but I do as demanded and hope for a miracle. I attempt to get the inner core to catch flame, but the lantern refuses to comply. No. No matter what I do, the guide's eyes widen as the full scope of the situation dawns on him. My two companions start nervously fidgeting and whisper about possible solutions, but I hear each one getting shot down.
What are we going to do now?
Margaret's voice comes out shaky. A look at the guide forlornly. We're completely at his mercy. Now, if he has any despair. He coldly surveys the three of us. After silently deliberating, he narrows his eyes until there are slits in his face.
I will allow one of you to remain in my light.
One? Just one? Oh no.
Why?
Oh, what are we going to do? I can barely drag the words out of my mouth as I look at him incredulously.
Someone who wants to live will share their light with no one. I will not share my light with 3.
He almost snarls at us. Margaret is completely frozen, her mind racing to process everything.
Then, what about 2? Could you please keep 2 of us safe?
The guide sharply shakes his head.
I will allow 1 and no more. 2 will be left behind.
Finality rings out from him, from his words. Oh, what are we going to do?
Lingering at a distance far behind my light will leave you vulnerable. The wisest option is to continuously move, even if it means going another way.
Besides me, Margaret begins whispering something to herself. I can't make out what it is. Lou's eyes narrow as he observes the situation. A torrent of thought rips through my mind as I try to find some other way.
Kika.
My body stiffens. The guide has never referred to me by name this way. It is jarring. Enough to gain my attention. Everyone even admits the panic rising.
You are the most likely to survive. The offer is for you.
If I leave, everyone else will die, and that defeats the purpose of everything I've been doing. This game is tricky. My eyes widen even further. No, I don't want that. I can't be the only one who... No. No, no, no. I turn my eyes to my 2 companions. The both of them gaze back at me, dejected. There is horrifying resignation in their eyes. This cannot be happening. They should be going, not me. They should be the ones who remain safe.
My lantern broke because I foolishly dropped it. And I've already lost my glasses, so...
Lou continues to only passively watch with an unexplainable expression. I shake my head, refusing to watch them give up so easily. I turn to the guide's face one last time, begging him mentally. He is empty and unflinching.
It needs to be done. This is what it means to cross Sinlos.
The heavy words sink into me as I stare towards the void that eagerly awaits two of us. I won't go. Let someone else stay. What happens if I choose nothing? I swallow my objections. Nope. Nope. We can't. No matter how painful it is to come to terms with, we have to be pragmatic. I would have encouraged the decision if another was okay. So we're gonna see if we can not do that. Like, if Margaret goes with him, maybe she'll live, and like we can work our way through. The guide sucks in a breath, clearly disappointed.
Being without light is dangerous, even if you are close to another. The one who goes with me has no guarantee of making it across. You risk this entire journey being for naught. The correct decisions need to be made. Everyone should be aware of that.
Yes, I know. His words cut deep. I have no logical reason to object to going if my only solution is choosing another for the same position. I heard a ding da ding. Ding da ding is good. Who's ding da dinging? I thought I would be ready for this, whether it presented itself. I believed I had the strength. That was only what I wanted to believe. Nothing that I haven't said anything, despite plenty of opportunity. The guide continues.
I will not choose someone else, and neither will they. Can you do so? Who deserves to be saved, and who lost in your mind?
A pit forms in my stomach as the responsibility of this unspeakable choice falls on my shoulders.
Stop this! It isn't helping!
I'm not the one who can stop it now.
I tried to form a competent sentence, but whenever I try to retch them out, the words vanish from my thoughts, my tongue. Having lost his patience, the guide points a finger at Margaret, almost accusingly.
I've noticed the attention you've given her. Is that what this is about? Do you want to sacrifice your position to give her a hope of safety?
Maybe.
Or perhaps you would prefer the both of you being left so you remain together? Or does your relationship not matter after all, and you don't care who gets the chance as long as you avoid a sense of guilt?
Harsh. No, I don't want to stay together because we will definitely die together. She will get me killed. I look over at Margaret and Lou, not tears. Now, oh, hot tears flowing from my eyes. Take Margaret, take Lou. What if I choose no one? Let's see. The guide regards me with an unreadable expression. Without another word, he turns around and begins to walk down the bridge. Startled by the act, I take a step towards him. He turns just slightly to speak over his shoulder.
If any further discussion is needed, then you will have to do it amongst yourselves.
The guide pauses for a moment.
If you wish, you may follow. No one else is to do so.
What happens if we do it anyways? Are you gonna push us in? Probably. Nothing has changed.
I'm sorry. I couldn't do anything for you.
Margaret's voice is quivering.
Please, go after the guide.
You know what? Oh my goodness. I don't know how to choose. We can't leave her behind, right? But I also don't know where the story is going to go. You know.
If any further discussion,
We'll let Margaret stay with the guide. Yep, take Margaret. Take her. Just take her. I'll figure out a way to do things. And you know what? I've lived pretty long in this game. We'll see how that continues. The guide regards me with an unreadable expression. Without another word, he turns around and begins to walk down the bridge. Startled by the action, I take a step towards him. He turns just slightly to speak over his shoulder.
If any further discussion is needed, then you will have to do it amongst yourselves.
So this part is the same, but the music is different. The guide pauses for a moment.
If you wish, you may follow. No one else is to do so.
He starts straight. He stares straight into Margaret's face, referring to her without saying so directly. I stand frozen in place, shocked, as the guide gets further away. It sinks in that the guide is actually leaving. He won't be coming back. I whip towards Margaret.
You have to go.
Why would you do that?
Because you clearly can't survive out here. I feel like Lou has a small chance. I have a chance. You have absolutely no chance. None. She peers at me vexed.
Because it felt right.
Also, to be fair, you were supposed to go on this trip, not us. Margaret's eyes fill with tears, and she scrunches her nose up.
Well, you're wrong. I hope you realize.
I shake my head.
The decision has been made. You need to go. We will find our own way.
Margaret whispers, the tears, wipes the tears from her eyes. She fixates on me. penetratingly, and I know that she doesn't truly believe me. I mirror her look with equal gravity.
Be safe, please. There isn't time left.
Renewed tears pour down Margaret's face, dripping in a subtle rhythm onto the already damp wood. Well, we'll see how this decision goes in the next episode. We'll see if I die for the first time in this game or not. I'm Tato Cat. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.